Let's prepare on the eccentric connections. So in this chapter eccentric connections, we are going to see for both the bolted connection, the riveted and also the welted connection. Okay, so here for bolted connection and the riveted connection, everything will be same, so that we will be seeing as one thing, and for welded we will be seeing separately. So now let us go for the eccentric bolted connection. So first, why this eccentric connection came here means the load we are applying, no, so it is said to be concentric load when the line of action passes through the center of gravity of that bolt or rivet. Okay, so that in that case it will be called as concentric load. But when this load's line of action does not pass through the center of gravity, here only this eccentric connections comes here. So normally in beam to column connections and all, this plays an important role. So that's why we are in particularly talking about this eccentric connections. So here there are two types of connection. One is bracket type connection 1 and another one is bracket type connection 2. In the first thing, the moment will be acting along the shear plane, and in the second case the moment will be acting perpendicular to the shear plane. So first let us see the first method, first connection. Okay, so here I have drawn a diagram of a steel plate having bolts or rivet, whatever you can assume it. So it's having two rivet lines. So this is one line and this is one line, and it is having nearly 5 bolts in each line. Okay, so here this is called as bracket plate, which is attached sidewards to that steel plate. Okay, so when this bracket plate is attached like this and the load is applied here, the moment will be acting along the shear plane. So this is the first case, and an eccentricity of E. So E is the application of load, no, from there to the middle, that is the center of gravity of this plate. So that only we call as the eccentricity. So here the load is P and eccentricity is E. Okay, so now we want to find the force required and the force that is experienced by each bolt. So that and all we have to calculate. So the first thing I have written here is the vertical shear force in each bolt due to the axial load is what? So that they are mentioned as FA. So the vertical shear force is directly due to the load. So we can directly divide the total load by the number of bolts. So total load is only P and it is divided by the number of bolts. So that is only the first thing. The second one is Fm. So this is the force in each bolt due to the moment. So here when moment comes, this moment has to be in the right side, that is P into E into R by sigma R square is an extra term. So what is this R and sigma R means? If you are taking this bolt, the first bolt from the neutral axis, so if this is a rectangular plate, so this will be the neutral axis, no, so from this neutral axis point, what is the distance of that bolt? So that is only mentioned as R. So it differs for each bolt. So when you are taking one bolt of you have to multiply with that bolt's R value divided by the total summation of the R square value. Okay, so that is the formula here. So summation of R square is nothing but summation of x square plus y square. So x is nothing but, so this point is x and this point is y. So that is only the difference here. So this x and y, you no need to worry, they will be giving in the question, because we know the gauge, length, pitch. So that is only here. Gauge and pitch is only the horizontal vertical distance. So that values they will be giving in the question. So we can find the sigma R square. And then the resultant force. So this is the combination of these both. So it is root of Fa square plus Fm square plus 2 Fa Fm cos theta. So Fa and Fm already we have found out. The cos theta is nothing but the angle between this Fa and Fm. So you may be confused how we can find the angle in this point. Okay, because we are having already the length. So if you are taking this R, I am taking like this. So this is R means this values they will be giving like 40 mm, 30 mm, like that they will be giving. So we can take this as theta. So cos theta will be equal to 30 by R. So R value also we have already found out. Using the Pythagoras theorem we can find the R value. So 30 by R will give you cos theta. So with respect to that you can find the theta's value, or you can apply that value itself directly in the formula. So you will get the resultant force that is experienced by each bolt in that member. Okay, so for safety purpose, this point is very important. This R max should be less than or equal to the design strength of the bolt. So design strength of the bolt we have already studied in the previous unit. So it should be less than that, so that the bolt is bolt does not have any failure. Okay, and then this point, so the number of bolts for each rivet line. So if you want to determine how many bolts could be given in a rivet line means this one line is called as rivet line. So that means you can go for this formula. It is root of 6m. M is the moment by small m. So this is the number of rivet lines into P, it is pitch value, into VDB. So VDB is only the design strength of the bolt. So like this you can calculate the number of bolts for each rivet line. Okay, so these problems and all, they won't be asking in the objective questions because it takes time, but the formula directly can be asked. Okay, so this formula is very important and you can know this also. The next case is the type 2 connection where the moment is acting perpendicular to the shear plane. So here what happens is the bracket plate is attached inside that bolt, that is inside the cross section of the beam. Okay, so if this is the steel plate or steel beam means the bracket plate is this one, and here I have mentioned as dots, no, so that is only will be your bolts or rivets. Okay, so if there is a plate with bolts or rivets, in from middle of that this bracket plate will be coming, so that the moment will be acting perpendicular to the shear plane here. So here the E should be from that point only, because it should be from the center of that point and not from this point. Okay, so that you should be clear. And the total height is mentioned as h, and here they have given the axis of rotation happens at h by 7 from the bottom. So at that point only the axis of rotation happens, and this is an important point to be noted here. And then here there is no formulas for FA, FM like that and all, nothing is given. Only the moment calculation is given here. So it is m by 1 plus 2h by 2l sigma y by sigma y square. So here again y is nothing but it is the distance of each bolt from the axis of rotation. Whereas in the previous method we'll be seeing the distance from the neutral axis, no, but in this case we'll be seeing from the axis of rotation, so that is only your y and everything. And here also the bolts direct force is equal to the total force divided by the number of bolts. So here for safety check they have given, in the previous case we studied, no, it should be less than or equal to the design strength. Here another formula is given, so this is very important. They have asked many times in the objective questions. So based on IS 800 2007, VB by VDB the whole square plus TB by TDB the whole square should be less than or equal to 1. So this is nothing but the factored shear force on the bolt by the design shear capacity, and its TB is the factored tensile force on bolt by the factored by the design tension capacity. Okay, so here due to this axis of rotation and the moment is occurring in the perpendicular plane to the shear plane. So due to these reasons this member will be subjected to both the shear and the tension also. Okay, so this is also an important point. So this formula is based on the LSM, limit state method, and I have given another formula here. So this is based on the working stress method, that is tau VF calculated by tau VF, that is nothing but it's the permissible shear stress in the rivet, and sigma means it is the permissible tensile stress in the rivet, that is calculated by the permissible value, should be less than or equal to 1.4. So these both are very important. And another important point to be noted in this bolt and everything is the critical bolt. So where this critical bolt actually comes means the bolt which is subjected to the maximum resultant force, that only we call it as the critical bolt. So it will be normally very farthest from the center of gravity of that bolt group and nearest to the applied load line. So we are having a load P, no, so it will be nearer to that line and farther to the neutral axis. So that bolts only will be normally experiencing the critical load. So that's are called as critical bolt. So that's all with the eccentric bolted and riveted connection. Now we go for the eccentric welded connection. So here also again the formula very similar to the previous thing only we'll be studying. Here also again two methods, that is bracket type connection 1 and connection 2. And the first method we can go for the direct vertical stress. In there we saw now it's P by N, but here it is P by D plus 2B TT. So okay, so here P is the load and D is the depth and 2B that and all its breadth everything, and TT is nothing but we have already studied in the previous chapter, that is in welded connection. It is the effective throat thickness of the fillet weld. So it is K into S. S is the size of the weld, like that we studied. So that only they have used here. And the maximum shear stress, they call it as the Q2. So that is equal to P into E into R max by IP. IP is nothing but the polar moment of inertia, which is equal to IXS plus IYY. Okay, so the summation of these, or the combination of these both only, will give you the resultant QR, which is equal to Q1 square plus Q2 square plus 2Q1 Q2 cos theta. So again this cos theta is nothing but the angle between these both, that is the vertical stress line and the shear stress line. So this should be less than or equal to Fu by root 3 gamma mw. So this formula also we will be seeing in the welded connection. So for safety check it should be less than this value. When you go for the second type of connection, the Q1 will be equal to P by 2D TT and Q2 will be equal to PE D by 2 divided by 2 TT D cube by 12. So that combination of this combined stress will be equal to root of Q1 square plus Q2 square only. No need to go for that 2Q1, that cos theta and all. So this will be less than or equal to Fu by root 3 gamma mw, the same thing. So these are all important and it is very similar to each other. So just compare both the things, that is riveted, bolted and welded connections, and study. And these formulas are only important. Most probably they won't be asking these questions in objective types because it takes a huge time. Thank you and keep watching for the next lecture on tension members.